and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the SSE is proud to present the most entertaining droid in the world. It is me, it is me, it is R2D2. How we doing today, everybody? Hope you all are doing fantastic. So, here we are in the garage this day. Unfortunately, some IRL stuff is happening, so I had to record this video in the garage. So I do hope audio is not too horrid. Camera angles dealable, but luckily you guys won't have to deal with it for too long. So the video for today is we're going to look at the round 2 matchups of the Great Lakes Draft League Erie's Division playoff run, which includes us. Yay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. So not last week, but the last prediction video of the round 1 matchups, we kind of didn't predict them very well as both our matchups lost and went for 0-2. But both the Mass Magikarp and the Lake Erie Wishiwashis were able to utilize what we said as their clef keys to victory. So I'm going to say that we get partial credit. So the matchups we're going to look over this time is the Lake Erie Wishiwashis versus Baltimore Pangorioles. Then we'll take a look over the Seattle Superlacs against the Mass Magic. Let's go ahead and take a look at Baltimore versus Lake Erie. So as you see here, the Baltimore Pangorioles brought a Rotom Heat the most at 12 times, while Credelli is the kill leader with 12 kills. The surprising thing with them is they actually had a lot of balance. Like there was like 2 or 3 other Pokemon that were at 10 plus kills, and then a few others that were right at that range. So speaking of Credelli though, I'm also going to give that Pokemon the matchup X Factor, as it played a huge role in their previous matchup in the regular season, collecting 7 out of the 12 kills it earned over the season in that 3-game set. Also, Credelli getting the nod because the Wishiwashis overall have a pretty significant rock weakness, as only Gallade and Dugtrio resist the move while everything else gets hit with super effective or neutral damage. The Lake Erie Wishiwashis saw Thundurus out on the field 17 times. That's a decent chunk. While the Blastoise of Lake Erie Wishiwashis led the team with 19 kills. And I'm going to give Vanillix the matchup X Factor here, because it can single-handedly run through this team in Baltimore while also disrupting one of its main cores in the Sand Core with Excadrill Sandrush and Tyranitar setting the sand. So if Excadrill's not in sand, its speed's not going to get doubled and be able to outspeed just about anything. So let's go on ahead and take a stab at the Baltimore clef keys to victory. Put another dime in the jukebox. As I mentioned before, the Baltimore Pangorioles have a good rock matchup here going into the Wishiwashis. Wishiwashis have a lot of rock weakness in at least neutral. So I expect the Pangorioles to bring plenty of change for the jukebox so they can see those hits keep on coming, so they can climb their way to the top of the charts. Ice, Ice, Baby. Sorry. Anyways, so they also have a severe ice weakness overall, with only Rotom Heat being able to resist Freeze Dry, which Vanillix gets. So if Vanillix is able to get rolling, they won't be able to deal with, you know, things are going to be difficult. But luckily, they've got not one, not two, not three, not four, but five. Five Pokemon that I think would be able to handle the 2 scoop special. So that's going to be a matchup within the matchup to keep an eye on. Get the jumper cables ready. What I mean by that is the Pangorioles will want to get the momentum going from the jump. Like turn one, momentum stealing. Because what's going to be really important here is that the Wishiwashis like to play a more defensive, neutral, where they really only tend to push the advantage when they're in the advantage state. So if the Pangorioles are able to get that early momentum going and maintain it, the Wishiwashis won't be able to get back into the match very easily. Speaking of the Wishiwashis, what are their clef keys to win? Well, funny you should ask. The Weather Ward. So again, as I mentioned before, you got Tyranitar that sets the sand, and Vanillix that sets the snow or hail. Whichever team is able to establish their weather is gonna be in the advantage here, and the Wishiwashis cannot be in the disadvantaged state here. Whether it's they set up Trick Room with sand up, or they somehow get rid of sand altogether, whether it's by setting their own hail or just not having sand as an part of the equation, it's going to be pivotal for the Wishiwashis here. Keep them on the ropes. What I mean by that is, again, just like how the Pangorioles will need to get that early momentum, well, the Wishiwashis have got to get them in a position where they can't do that. If they can keep them on their back foot, where they're concerned more about defensive pins and the such, they can't get that momentum going, and that's going to put Wishiwashis in a very good state. Rock Smashers. They're going to need to channel in their inner Hulk here and smash some rock types. But again, with the combinations of fighting, steel, bug types, those should be a plenty, because again, those are types that should be able to get the ball rolling on both their rock types, being Cradeli and Tyranitar. Who do we think is going to win this one? I think that's going to be the Baltimore Pangorioles. The Pangorioles just have too many modes, too many options that I don't think the Lake Erie Wishiwashis are going to be able to cover them all and still be able to maintain enough of offensive pressure to secure KOs. As long as, again, they get the momentum early and find an answer for Vanillix, I definitely think that they should be the victors here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other matchup. So the other matchup for this playoff run is the Seattle Superlacs. They brought Primarina a total of 17 times, while Colossal, kind of no surprise, but kind of still, led the team with 20 KOs. The matchup X factor here is Gyarados. Gyarados kind of goes in good with this team. They do have a few checks for it that we got to watch out for, but Gyarados did go in hard in our Week 9 matchup, collecting, I think, 7 of its 13 kills that week over the 3 games. The Mass Magikarps brought their kill leader, 39 kills, Celesteela, 25 times. And their matchup X Factor is Grimmsnarl. with Fake Out, Spirit Break, Screens, Fake Tears, and a whole move pool full of tricks that it could pull off. It could definitely play the disruptor role here, and that might be enough to secure them the W. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Masked Magikarp's Clef Keys to Victory. Revolving Door. They're going to need to turn this Pokemon set into a shell game, where the prize isn't a little rock, but instead it's a KO. With both screens and defensive switch-ins and lowering stats and whatnot, there's a lot of ways that they have to mitigate the Seattle Superlax's damage output. Oh, if we can't damage anything, how can we KO it? To the max. A lot of matchups have the 3-turn Dynamax mechanic as a part of its equation. I think it's a little more than normal here in this matchup. They are going to need to get every inch out of their Dynamax in order to secure the W. Where the sidewalk ends, they'll need to identify, establish, maintain, and secure their end game win condition. If for whatever reason they're either not able to set it up or Seattle Superlax are able to avoid it, the Masked Magikarps may avoid the next round of the playoffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at Seattle's Left Keys to Victory. What? You guys thought I was actually going to display what my plans or strats were? Nah, just real simple, basic stuff. It's like we got to score more points than they do. We need to win that race to 4 KOs. Celesteela brought 25 times, led the team to KOs. Well, duh, we got to figure out a way to beat that thing. Like, oh, hey, let's play the Lakers. And, well, crap, how are we going to beat LeBron James? And, again, the best way for us to secure victory is if we don't lose. Our prediction is Seattle Superlax. Obviously, I'm going to choose myself, but again, I think this is going to be a great slobber knocker of a match. So make sure to check back next week to see the videos. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. So our prediction would show that the Seattle Superlax and the Baltimore Pangorioles should be in there for the championship match. I think that's going to be this. Even this is going to be a good matchup, and hopefully I'm able to secure it. But I also wanted to take this opportunity to let you guys know I've signed up for 2 more draft leagues: the Erie Division Draft League and the Slivco Draft Associates Premier Ball League. Both will be via Wi-Fi, and I do plan on doing a video series around them. That means there will be a total of 2 uploads a week. Great Lake Draft League content will stay on Sundays, as it has been, with an upload time of 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until the end of the playoff run. The Erie Division Draft League content will be posted on Wednesdays at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the Premier Ball League will be on Saturdays until the Great Lakes Draft League playoff run is over. Then it'll move to the Sunday slot. So don't forget to hit the sub button and leave comments down below, because you're going to have plenty of chances to enter that $20 monthly drawing payable by PayPal or Discord Nitro. But until next time, guys, hopefully we'll be out of the garage. Bye.